Blanca, would you mind going ahead and muting yourself, please? There's a little bit of background.
Yeah, sorry.
Awesome, thank you.
Let's see.
So basically, this webinar aims to help you scale your real estate business this year by understanding how utilizing the lease option program can help you add anywhere from 2 to 4 deals in sales commissions every month or more. So a little bit about me. My name is Jalen Mansur-Shaw. I went from a stay-at-home mom of 14 years to becoming a single mom with 3 young daughters, working as a barista at Starbucks. Didn't have any job skills other than being a stay-at-home mom. So I basically went from barista to a multi-million dollar real estate producer in just 6 short years. So super proud of myself. I've been in sales since my 20s. I'm a 3-time Icon awardee with eXp Realty, and I'm also an eXp Realty mentor. Oh, sorry for that noise there. I do live in downtown Phoenix with my lovely husband, Kelly, and I have a team of a few people consisting of agents, virtual assistants, and admin. We specialize in lease options in the Phoenix, Arizona, Southern California, and Las Vegas, Nevada market areas. So basically, a little bit about what we're going to talk about is basically how does a lease option work? How does it benefit you? What are some of the companies that you can work for? Basically going over how you can find leads. But today's seminar, we're going to talk mostly on the different companies that you can work with and kind of their MO, their parameters, and what type of client would be best to have them work with this respective company. So, oops, let me pause this. Before we get into the rest of the presentation, I did want to talk about a little bit about one of my favorite business partners to work with, which is Home Partners of America. They're very prevalent in Arizona. They just opened up about 3 years ago. They do operate in over 80 markets across the United States. They're really phenomenal. They've been in business since about 2012. They are a cash buyer. They have helped so many families get into homes. I think they've purchased over 30,000 homes in the past 11 years, almost 11 years now. So really great company. I am proud to announce that I am actually one of the top agents for Home Partners of America. I used to be the #1 agent, but we love Home Partners so much, we actually utilize them to purchase a home for us. So I'm going to show this video for you guys real quick. And if you can't watch it right now, you can listen to it. And this is of my husband and I in our actual Home Partners home that they bought for us. So here we go.
Jalen,
Yes.
there's like no audio on the video.
Oh, do you know how I fix that?
When you share your screen, you should also click that little box that says share audio.
Screen sharing. Where would that little box be? Oh, share sound. Okay, Southern California. Let me start over. Here we go.
There you go.
Okay, let me start over. Sorry, guys. My name is Jalen Mansur. I am a realtor in the Phoenix metro area. I've been a realtor for about 6 years now, going on 7. And I've been working with Home Partners for about 5.5 years now. I absolutely love Home Partners.
And my name is Kelly Shaw, and she is my better half. And she convinced me to get into real estate about 3 years ago. And I said no until I saw the Home Partners business model, and I went, oh, this is a no-brainer. So I do Home Partners and absolutely love it.
Starting out with Home Partners in Southern California, when Home Partners announced that they were going to open up the Phoenix metro market, my husband and I looked at each other, we're like, wow, this is such a huge opportunity to be able to help so many people move into homes out in the Phoenix metro area. So we started doing business in Arizona, and then quickly decided that it would make sense to move out here. Not only move out here, but to actually use Home Partners to purchase a home for us, which we're sitting in right now. And it's just, we're so incredibly blessed and fortunate to be able to work with Home Partners not only as agents, but also as actual clients.
I love the fact that Home Partners are putting so much money into helping people that, you know, are having a tough time right now getting into the housing market. And we can actually give them a future where they can actually now buy the home.
We always say to our clients, if you're gonna rent, why not rent with purpose?
You get to help people get into a home. Number one, they don't have to compete against 400 other renters and, you know, lose because they have a few percentage points lower on their FICO score, or, you know, maybe their income's not quite like somebody else's. Once you're qualified, it's like, come on, it's showtime. We can go out and get you a home. And they get to get a home in the neighborhood that they get to pick out, in the schools where they want their kids to go.
Another thing that we always talk about with prospective residents, the fact that it's a one-time application that works for as many homes as it takes, so you're not having to fill out a separate application for each property. And so they really, really love that. We get calls all the time where tenants are like, oh my gosh, the landlord is selling my house, I really don't want to move. So I'm like, what's your address? Home Partners can buy the house, and then you can just rent it from Home Partners and then buy it from them when you're ready. And they're like, oh my gosh, you can do that? This is amazing. So we've actually helped a couple of clients, 3 actually, do that same exact thing, where Home Partners was able to purchase the home that they were already renting for several years, and they're in that. And 2 of those have actually started the process of buying it back from Home Partners right now. So it's amazing.
We work with the team at Home Partners because you guys have a phenomenal support staff, and we're very fortunate, whether it's inspections or closings or whatever, very supportive.
They make things so easy, not only for us as agents, but for the seller too. Like, most listing agents and sellers absolutely love working with us. So we're truly blessed to be able to
Yes, we are.
partner up with Home Partners. All right, well, there you go. There's pretty much all you need to know. Webinar's over. Have a good day. Just kidding. That video does sum it up. Can you guys hear me, by the way?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So again, I mean, obviously we love Home Partners and it's just amazing. So let's talk about real quick, like, what are the basic qualifications for a lease option, and like, who would this actually be good for? Like, what type of client can you put into a lease option home? And then we'll go into a little bit about the actual parameters of, you know, what Home Partners looks for in a client versus the other companies. So basically, you're looking for somebody that has a pulse. They have at least a 620 credit score on TransUnion, and their income is roughly 3 times the rent. It's a little bit easier to qualify for a lease option home versus somebody who's looking to get a mortgage and purchase. Lenders, they're looking for 2 years of solid income history. The nice thing about doing a lease option is you don't have to have that stable income history. You can literally have just 30 days of employment history, and bada bing, bada boom, you can get them into a Home Partners home or one of the other companies. So the other cool thing about doing a lease option is if you have somebody that you're working with, and let's say they went through a recent bankruptcy event, like a Chapter 7, a Chapter 13, most lenders are not going to touch them with a 10-foot pole. There's going to be at least 2 to 4 years seasoning before you can get that person qualified to get into a mortgage. With the lease option, can we go ahead and mute everyone, please? That would be great. Thank you. The lease option, if they have been discharged at least 1 day, you can get them into a home. So really, really cool. Also, somebody, if you're dealing with and they have really, really super creative types income, like they get paid cash, they're working for Uber Eats, DoorDash, Etsy, Fiverr, whatever, and they're getting paid various sources, you can get that client approved and get them into a home. So really, really cool. Let's see here. We kind of like skipped over this. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we're just going to like talk. So let's talk real quick about the different companies that you can work with. So my 2 favorite companies to work with in the Phoenix metro area are Home Partners, obviously, and then Divvy is my second choice. Let me talk about the differences between those 2 real quick. So they are both cash buyers, which is really nice. Home Partners, they are going to close in about 3 to 4 weeks versus Divvy closes in about 2 weeks. So if you have a client that really needs to move quickly and they don't mind paying a little bit higher monthly payment, you might look at Divvy, get them into a Divvy home. Now, Home Partners, they have their monthly rents. They are truly just market rate rents. None of the rent goes towards the purchase. It's not super inflated or elevated. So the resident is truly just paying rent, but they have the right to purchase the home literally anytime after they move in, after 30 days, up until the end of year 5. We have had clients that have actually taken 5 years to purchase the home. Quick story, there was a family that we put into a home about 6 years ago in Menifee, California. The Whites, family of 5, really, really great family, wonderful. One of their family members was a quadriplegic. He had a drowning accident when he was 2 years old. Really, really sad. So they've just had a lot of medical bills, a lot of issues, a lot of problems trying to qualify to get a mortgage. So we got them into a Home Partners home, a beautiful 6-bedroom, 4-bath home. And I can't remember our purchase price back then. I want to say it was like $450,000 that Home Partners paid for the home. So they literally rented it for 5 years, and we stayed in touch every year, and they just couldn't get their act together. They couldn't get their credit score where they needed it to be. They couldn't get their down payment saved up to get to that 3.5% FHA, right? So literally 2 months before their buy option window was going to end at the end of year 5, they called me desperate. They're like, Jalen, we love this home. We don't want to move. Can you please help us? And so I put them in touch with one of my preferred lenders who has, more creative type financing. He was able to get them financed, get them into a home. They had to do a little bit of rejigging on their credit, pay off some things, but they actually bought the home from Home Partners in the nick of time. And they ended up with about $150,000 in equity that they gained just from renting. So huge win for the family. So I love this program so much. And the cool thing about Home Partners, there is no obligation and there's no penalty if the resident decides not to buy the home. They do get their security deposit back either way. And one question that I get a lot is, well, what if the market crashes? Well, again, because there's no obligation, let's say that the resident's option price is $400,000. And by the time they go to buy it, the appraisal deems that it's only worth $350,000. They can be like, sayonara, baby, I'm leaving, getting my deposit back. I'm going to go buy the house down the street that's $50,000 cheaper, right? Conversely, if the home is appraised at 450, guess what? They still get to buy it for 400. So it's truly a win-win. So that's the one thing, many, many things I love about Home Partners, but that's the difference between Divvy and Home Partners. With Divvy, there is a deposit required depending on your credit score. If you have a good credit score, which has to be 650 or better, you are not required to put down a security deposit. But if you're below that mark, you are going to be required to put anywhere from a 1 to 2% deposit down of the purchase price. And guess what? If the resident does not buy that home, they do not get that deposit back. Divvy is going to use that as a relisting fee. So now the differences between Divvy and Home Partners on the monthly payment, again, Home Partners is just a flat monthly rent, which is similar to market rate rent. Divvy is going to charge them a higher amount of their monthly rent. So to give you an example, let's use a $400,000 home that's a single story, no pool. Home Partners doesn't buy pool homes anymore in Arizona, but Divvy does. So the Home Partners payment might be, let's just use $2,500 to keep the math simple. Divvy for that same exact home is probably going to charge closer to $2,800, $2,900 a month. Plus, depending on the person's credit score, they are going to be forced to have tacked on a forced savings amount, which goes towards the purchase of the home. And I'm not going to get too much in the weeds here because I could talk all day long about the different parameters and qualifications, but just keep that in mind. Home Partners is lower in rent, no obligation. Divvy does have a little bit higher monthly rent payment, plus they have forced savings that is tacked on that goes towards their down payment when they go to purchase the home. So Divvy truly is geared more towards somebody who truly wants to buy that home and is, maybe they have a little bit harder time saving money, so they're forced to stash that money aside. So let's talk about real quick, like who you would actually want to put into a lease option home. So you're looking specifically for renters, right? Somebody who wants to rent a home. That's first and foremost. So it could be somebody who is relocating to the area. They're not quite sure where they want to live. They kind of want to like try the neighborhood out. Perfect. You can get them pre-qualified to rent a home through Home Partners or Divvy. And basically they're going to have a maximum amount of money that they can spend, a maximum budget. You are going to take them out shopping for homes that they've identified fit their budget and their criteria. They're going to let you know, hey, Blanca, I want to move forward with this home off 123 Main Street. You're like, great. You're going to submit it to the respective company. They're going to write the offer for you. They're going to do all the paperwork, which is super awesome. You are going to present that to the listing agent, get them to fall in love with you, get them to accept your offer, and then your resident can move in shortly after. It's not that simple. There are a lot of steps involved, but those are the basics. So another type of person that would be great to put into a lease option program, as I alluded to earlier, somebody who maybe just went through a bankruptcy event, has super creative income. Maybe their credit score is just not where they want it to be right now to get qualified for a mortgage, or maybe they're just simply waiting for interest rates to go down, because interest rates right now are hovering in the low sevens to get an FHA mortgage. So, which is kind of sucky compared to where they used to be a year ago, right? So somebody might want to just get into a home, test the market. They want to definitely buy at some point, but they're just not sure where the market's going to go. They want to wait for interest rates to go down. You can get them into the home that they want to eventually buy, get them into the home now. They can rent it and just kind of wait for things to be right. Maybe they need to save up a little bit of money for their down payment, whatever the case may be. There are like so many people that a lease option would be good for. I'm trying to think what else. I'm like having a little bit of a moment right now with thinking. So anyway, real quick, those are basically Home Partners and Divvy, my two favorite companies to work with. The other two companies that I work with, I'm not going to go over them too much because they're really not operating right now. They're kind of on a hiatus. But the third company I work with is Pathway. They are fairly new to Phoenix. They actually came into the market about a year ago and they swooped up. They bought a bunch of inventory. They went in and renovated all of the homes. They're beautiful homes, turnkey. They look like brand new homes. But they stopped buying homes right now because they had a hard time getting all of their inventory leased. And unfortunately, because they bought at the height of the market, they overpaid for a lot of homes. So they're a little bit gun shy right now. So, but basically Pathway is pretty identical to Home Partners. They're a cash buyer. They're going to close in about 3 to 4 weeks. The difference between Pathway and Home Partners is they do go in and completely renovate the home, unless it's a brand new home and it doesn't need it, obviously. So the resident gets to move into a really, really nice home. They're going to fit the home with smart technology, smart locks, smart doorbells, all of that kind of fun stuff. So that's really cool. And so that's Pathway. The other company that I have worked with, is a company called Trio. Now, the cool thing about Trio is they have their own in-house FHA mortgage, which is assumable. If you search the FHA website, you can see that there's a Trio FHA mortgage. They have an own option program. And my husband and I actually used them as well to get a home for us in downtown Phoenix. So basically how Trio works, they have a 580 credit score requirement. They are going to require a 1% deposit of the purchase price. And the way Trio works is a portion of the rent does go into a credit pool per se. And then those credits you do get back and they go towards the purchase, and you get a bonus if you've made your payments on time for 24 months. You get a bonus as if you've made those payments for 36 months. So you actually get a percentage of your rent payments, a credit for 36 months. If you buy the house back at 24 months, you get like that extra bonus. So that's really cool. My husband and I are going to actually assume the mortgage on our house in downtown Phoenix. So just to give you some real numbers, so Trio paid $325,000 for the home. Our out-of-pocket costs up front to get into the home was right around $5,000 with, the inception fee, the deposit, everything. So it was minimal cost to get into the home. We've actually rented the home out for a couple of years to Airbnb people. So we've had somebody else paying our rent for us the entire time. We are going to assume that mortgage in October. And again, a portion of our rent has been paying down the FHA mortgage and we're getting credits. So our assumption price is $319,000. The home right now is probably worth close to $450,000. We're guessing hopefully in October it will be worth a little bit more when the market starts to go back up a little bit. So that's what we're banking on. So we will have, what is the math on that? Over $125,000 in equity that we've gained just by renting. So I truly love working with lease purchase programs and more of using other people's money and creative type financing is like truly a game changer. And by the way, Blanca, you can use this for yourself and your family. It doesn't have to be just for your clients. I mean, just like on the video, my husband and I used Home Partners to get us a home, and Trio as well. You can use any of these respective companies to get approved yourself if you want, get a home, and then whatever you want to do with it, that's up to you. But that is an option. There's definitely, I love the power of using the leverage of other people's money. So those are the 4 companies basically. And I know that there's, it's a lot of information to cover. So I'm going to open it up right now. Blanca, if you would like to unmute yourself, feel free to fire away with any questions you have. Let me know what you're curious about. Are you there?
Yes.
There you are.
Yeah. So my questions were mostly, I guess you answered some of them because I was wondering what happens if the market crashes and, are people like still obligated to buy the home or how does that work? Because they still have to qualify for a mortgage when they're ready to buy it.
That's correct. So when they are ready to buy the home, they can use whatever lender they want, whatever loan program that they qualify for. Like, we don't care. The company doesn't care, unless they're going through Trio, which again, they're on a hiatus right now, so we don't need to talk about them too much more. But yes, if the market goes backwards, they are under no obligation to purchase the home. It's just a matter of, if they go through Home Partners, they do get their security deposit back. If they go through Divvy and they had to put down a deposit, they do not get that deposit back. So keep that in mind. If the market goes up, then that purchase price is locked in. They're not going to have to pay market value for that home. So whatever equity that they've gained during that period of time, that appreciation, that is theirs to keep.
Okay. Does Divvy have a certain deadline by when people need to purchase the home from them?
So Divvy, they just changed their structure. It used to be 3 years. Now they've left it very open-ended. It's very similar to Home Partners. Well, Home Partners has a deadline. They give people up to 5 years, except in Texas, it's 3. Divvy, they changed it to where, the resident can renew their lease year over year for as long as they want to. At this point, that's their current business model. It does go up a little bit each year, obviously. The buyback price from Divvy is a little bit higher than Home Partners. Currently, Home Partners is 5.5% above what they paid for the home, and it does go up 5.5% year over year. Divvy is a little bit closer to, I want to say 6.5%. So it is a little bit higher. But, if you have somebody that truly needs to move right away and doesn't mind spending the extra money, then the Divvy home is the Divvy program is really great for them in that respect. Quick close. And then, by the way, you get paid at the close of escrow on the sale. As long as your file is clear with your brokerage, then you get paid literally immediately, which is the cool part. So I feel like if you're trying to get paid in 2 weeks, like maybe you say, hey, you want to go with Divvy? Home Partners. I mean, Home Partners, you're going to get paid in like 3 or 4 weeks. So it's still super fast.
Mhm. Is Home Partners a EXP thing, or is it anybody can do it?
Anybody can work with Home Partners. You just need to go onto the Home Partners website, register and sign up as an agent. There's a bunch of materials, coursework, etc., to become a certified agent. You can certainly go through all of that. And if you decide after going through all of that, that number one, you're not really all that interested in working the program, you know, to its potential, to its maximum, I'm happy to take that client on for you and pay you a referral fee. However, if you would like to get serious and really incorporate this lease option program into your business, I am putting on a masterclass. It's on Monday, right, April?
It is.
Okay, so if you're interested in learning more about that, I will invite you to my masterclass. I am going to have them probably about once a month, and it's going to be 3 to 4 hours of jam-packed information going into detail as far as we are going to go over scripts. How do you actually talk to leads? How do you get them excited about the program, to get them to sign up, to get them approved, you know, and also how to market and find leads. We're going to go over, like, there's probably 10 different ways on how you can get really good lease option leads. So to give you an idea, this past year in last year was 2022. I did 55 transactions alone just with Home Partners utilizing lease options. The year before in 2021, I did 137 sides utilizing lease options. So it's truly an integral part of my business. It's about 98% of my overall real estate business. So I love it so much. I've been doing it for 6 years now, and I've gone through thousands and thousands of phone calls and leads. And so I know all of the hurdles, the valleys and peaks. So the masterclass is going to be all about helping you shortcut your way to success, to get a couple more deals in your pocket every month. So if you want more information on that, let me know. We'll send it over to you.
Okay. So once the client decides they want to go through with it, they go on the website and sign up and stuff, or?
Yes, you are going to send them a link to your direct agent portal. And word of caution, if you mention Home Partners to your client, if you're talking to them, be very aware of not using the word Home Partners, because what happens is they will go to the Home Partners website on their own and they will start, fishing around, mooching around, and then they will go and register on the Home Partners site. And guess what? You will lose that client. They're going to get assigned to some random agent who doesn't know what the heck they're doing. So make sure that you are sending them your direct agent link and double check with them. Like, hey, I just sent you the link to register. Let me know when you've done so I can check to make sure you're in my agent portal so I can keep an eye on you and make sure you're set up for success. Always make it a benefit for them.
Mhm. Okay. And so I would have to go on their website and sign up as an agent.
Correct. Unless you want to just like hand me all your referrals, I will pay you a referral fee and you don't even have to think about it.
Actually, I had some listings like, a few months ago when the market started kind of, people started like putting the brakes on their, search and stuff. And I thought about putting a sign on, a sign writer saying, you can lease to own this home. And I was willing to send it to somebody with Divvy because we had a Divvy group through EXP. And nobody was interested. I was like, if I'm on here and anybody calls me, I'm gonna send them to you. And nobody cared. So
Yeah, it's the interesting thing about lease options, working with these programs, like you truly do need to market to renters. I mean, you're looking for somebody who wants to rent a home. I have found that when I start talking about the benefits of using this program instead of trying to buy, it really gets kind of lost in translation. It's like, just keep it simple. You're looking for somebody who wants to rent a home. And if they want to rent your listing, perfect. It's a win-win. You can represent the seller and the buyer. It would be amazing.
Is there a limit as to how much